Today, I am going to be talking about the absolute best form of marketing that you could ever dream of having an e-commerce business, and it has been around since like 1999. Let's talk about email. Hey everyone, Greg at EF here, and today we're discussing one of my personal favorite marketing channels of all time, and that's email marketing. Email gives you so much different things you can do, and it is like one of the OG marketing channels, like way back in the day. I'm talking about late 90s, early 2000s. People were already using email marketing and becoming millionaires through the internet. So email is an extremely important channel. And as we head into 2022 and beyond, where we're going into a cookieless future, more privacy, like what Apple's rolled out with the iPhone, with what other companies are doing, this is going to become an ever more important channel, because we, as marketers, as entrepreneurs, we won't really be able to rely on that third-party data that has been so juicy for all of these years. We're going to have to go and build our own first-party data. And email is the perfect place for you to build this first-party data. So in this video, I'm going to cover several different common strategies I have seen e-commerce businesses perform that have helped them increase their net profit, and they're all email-based. And if we have time, I might get into a few other things too. At the end of this video, I will indeed share 3 more advanced techniques that we actually use at Empire Flippers, but our marketplace is probably a lot more complicated to do marketing than your e-commerce business because of what we sell. So we have a double-sided marketplace. So I have like 2 different customers I have to deal with, but I'm gonna go into a little tangent at the end about that because it might apply to you. You might be able to do some really cool stuff with this that pretty much no one in the e-commerce space I personally know has done. But first, let's go over the 4 techniques that can make you significantly more money. First, number 1, we got the upsell, the classic. So upsell is a very, very common example or a common idea that you probably already know. Basically, if I'm selling product A for 20 bucks, maybe I sell an accessory for say 50 bucks or 20 bucks or 10 bucks, something like that. Is an upsell. It's usually a one-time offer at the checkout when their customer is actually putting it in there like, hey, whoa, hey on, before you buy this blender, you can also click here and get like 5 blender cleaners for the price of 1, but only right now, all right? So stuff like that. It sounds a bit cheesy, sounds a bit corny. You can do it professionally. You don't have to be an absolute cartoon like me, but this is something that is proven to work over and over again. And this is something I'm actually envious of. I wish I could do this. It'd be really awesome if I could do something similar to this. And this is simply something e-commerce can do that I can't. I can't just go be like, hey, you're putting in that bank wire for that $1 million business, but if you put in another $1 million, you can get exactly another $1 million business, right? It doesn't work so well in my industry, but with e-commerce, it definitely does. And you should be using upsells like crazy to help you move more inventory. Next is cross-selling. So cross-selling is unlike an upsell where the 2 products are usually interrelated, where they are the relation is very clear. You almost need one and the other to really make it work. Like if you're buying glasses, you're probably going to want some glasses cleaners, some lens cleaners, right? So those 2 products make relational sense of why they would be on the product page together, right? You need A, you need B, you have B, you need A. Cross-sell is a slightly different but similar concept to an upsell, where when you are selling something, maybe you're selling something that isn't quite related, but is still required. So in this example, maybe it's like a luxurious glasses case, right? That you're selling with the wife. So you do the upsell, and then maybe you have some products that come up after that. Hey, other customers also like this. You see this on Amazon, actually, customers also bought this. So what they're doing is cross-selling it. Like, hey, we know a lot of people are interested in this product. These people bought all these products. Let's show those products to them too, to see if they'll add it to their cart, right? This is cross-selling in a nutshell. And this can be great because people, as they're buying something, they're in the mode to buy, and you want to get them to buy as much as possible because that mode is a very short window, and to get them rev up, to open up the window, so to speak, can take some time. So why not get as much relevant stuff in front of them as possible with this one opportunity that you may have, because they may never come back, right? Well, they will with email, which we'll talk about later. But this is very, very powerful that you can be selling in your email. Next is order bump. So this is another type of email / something you can do at checkout. Like, hey, I see that you want to buy the lens cleaners, right? You want to buy 5 packs. You can buy 10 packs for this, 15 packs for this, 80 packs for this. Now, I went with 80 packs at the last one because that sounds super ridiculous, but I have seen this work so well where you basically sell like a monstrous amount of the same exact thing, and people will actually go and buy it because they want to go stock up. Like, oh, I don't want to come back and order more. I'm just going to buy a whole year's worth right now, right? That's usually the kind of logic that's going through the consumer's mind. So why not give that option to them to go and buy a year's worth of glass cleaners, right? That they can use and hopefully not lose, or if they do, maybe they'll respond to your Target ad and buy more, right? But this is another thing you can do that is very common that you can put into your email and also into your checkout process. Finally, and this is one of the things that is very specific for email, you can also do it in retargeting, but it's much harder to do on the actual checkout process, and that is abandoned cart. So abandoned cart is where someone puts your product that they want to buy into your cart that you have, and then for whatever reason they leave. They don't come back. They don't buy the product or anything like that, right? So what are you to do in this situation? Well, since they already almost completed the order, you most likely have collected their email at this point. So you can have an entire sequence. Usually it's recommended between 3 days and maybe a 2-week follow-up, depending on your niche and their price point, to follow up with them. Like, hey, I see you forgot this. Psst, hey, come on back. You haven't finished the order. Like, please give me money. Why have you not? Right? All this kind of stuff that you can have fun with your abandoned cart emails to up and lift your revenue. Just adding one of these 4 tactics can dramatically increase your e-commerce profit for very little work. Like, this sounds complicated to set all of this up, but I promise you it's really not. Like, if you need to take it chunk by chunk, just do one of these per week. It'll probably take you less than 10 hours to do all 4 of these if you're experienced as an e-commerce entrepreneur. These are very powerful, very simple ways of using both your email, but also your actual checkout process. Okay, so let's talk about 3 much more advanced ways of using your email that most people don't use, but a lot of email marketing automation these days has. And if you're using something like ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, or Klaviyo, I believe Klaviyo has this too, you can probably utilize these advanced services. And these are actually things we use at Empire Flippers, and we built a 9-figure company, right? So this can be a very powerful thing for you, because I don't think most e-commerce entrepreneurs really use this that much. There's probably a few of them and they're probably killing it, but now I'm going to reveal the secrets, so to speak. So the first one is segmenting subscribers. So this is a concept of, say you are selling, I'll just use us as an example because it's easy for me and you can translate it to your business. So at EF, we sell multiple different business models, right? A lot of people think we just sell Amazon FBA, but that's completely untrue. We sell tons of content sites. We sell tons of KDP businesses. We've sold apps. We sold SaaS. We've sold DDC, Shopify stores, and we've even sold YouTube channels. I had a total mind blank there. Sorry. We've sold YouTube channels as well. So knowing this, when someone comes to our valuation tool, link down below if you want to get a valuation, we segment that by business model. So if you fill out the valuation tool, you're an Amazon FBA entrepreneur, we know you're an FBA entrepreneur. So we will try to send you content that is relevant to FBA. We will try to show you more things of what we're doing with FBA. Now, this is obviously great as the FBA entrepreneur because it's super, super relevant. And it's great for us as marketers, as entrepreneurs, because we're hitting the audience with relevant content, ideally at the right time, at the right place as well. But this will up your conversion. So how might you do this inside of your e-commerce store? So let's say you had a powerful CRM and marketing automation, and you're doing a lot of content marketing, right? And let's say you sell blenders, my perennial example. Or actually, let's go with dog food here. This actually can work very well. Let's say your e-commerce store is all about pets. You help birds, cats, dogs, all that kind of stuff. And you notice there is a segment of your audience in your CRM that seems to be clicking and spending a lot of time on any content you have about dogs. Well, what do you do in this situation? You could send these people put those people into a segment just about dogs. So maybe they also like the bird content and cat content, but you can create 3 different segments for bird, cat, and dog. And now you know these audiences are really primed for something with dogs. So how you might set up your content is having very specific, narrow things like, miniature schnauzers tend to get this kind of disease. That only goes out to the dog list because your broader audience might not really care, right? Now, as you get more broad, you might want to still send out to your whole list. For example, 12 dumb things that dogs did that were absolutely hilarious. Your entire list is probably going to enjoy that because who doesn't love a cute dog doing something stupid, right? But this is what I mean. You're able to give relevant, targeted content to those people when they want it and is based off what they're interested in. So this is just how one way you can use segmentation to nurture and build a better audience. You notice I didn't say much about selling anything here because this is really a nurturing kind of thing. So this is a great, fantastic way to build an awesome brand. So when you are promotional, you know exactly what to do. In fact, when you promote a new product that's related to dogs and you've been doing this and you promote it to that list, it's going to be awesome. Those people are going to love it because they already love all the content you've been sending to them about dogs. Now let's talk about another thing that you can do with email, and that's A/B testing. Now, a lot of people, when they think about A/B testing, they're just thinking about landing pages, which is great. You absolutely should. That should be probably the first place you test. But if email is starting to become an important part of your machine, I recommend split testing the actual email. Now, HubSpot has the ability to do this, and I believe not most, but a lot of the really reputable, good email marketing automation softwares will allow you to do some elements of split testing. So in general, what I would recommend is you do a 3-step, I think it's about 3 steps to A/B split test your email. The first thing is split testing angles. So if you're releasing a dog food, like this dog food is going to make your dog lose incredible weight versus this dog food is going to help your dog fight off a disease or whatever, but it's like the same benefit. Like the reason why the dog is losing weight is also the same nutritional value that is building up its immune system to protect it against disease. But your email is going after different angles with that headline. And what you do is you send out that email and you find which angle works. You don't want to send this out to your whole list, obviously, but you send it out to a meaningful amount of your list. Now, I should back up here. You can only do so many of these tests depending on your list size. If your list size is very small, you would not be able to do all the tests I'm about to say because you just simply won't have enough emails to be able to test this. As your email grows bigger, the more ability you have to split test. You'll see what I mean here in a second. So that's the first thing. We split test the emotional angle. Once we find the angle that won, our next batch of emails that we're sending out to the list that hasn't gotten any emails yet, will be the actual headline, the subject line. We'll test different subject lines, see which one performs. We'll probably test 2 at a time. You could test more if your list is bigger, but 2 is usually fine for most applications of email. Find which one gets the biggest open rate. Also look at the click-through rate to see if there's anything different there. So if the body of your email is not matching the intent of the subject line that someone clicked in to go in, the click-through rate might be wildly different. So you could end up with a headline, with a subject line that gets a massive open rate. Absolutely massive. Is the clear winner when it comes to open rate, but the click-through rate is absolutely dismal because the actual body of the email didn't really match the intent of the subject line, and that could be a real issue. So the next thing you want to do is look at your email body. You want to test this type of copy over and over again, and what you're looking at doing is sending out each email in a sequence. So if you have a email list of say 500,000 people, your first test might be 50,000. Where you send 25,000 the first test, 25,000 the second test, right? You're just looking to see which one is going to perform the best, and you just keep on going down that line of tests. And this is why you need to have a bigger email list to do this. It's okay if you have a smaller one. You can always split test. The angles is the thing that I think is usually the most important thing to test. Having multiple different angles can perform wildly different from each other. And this is something we do at Empire Flippers all the time. It's a very powerful trick to supercharge your email without actually decaying the power of the list. The last thing that we do is called event triggered emails. Event triggered emails, if you're doing a lot of content marketing, if you're doing, growing your website's power by a lot, this can be an incredibly useful resource for audience building. So let me give you an example we've done at EF that is very successful and is very simple for you to follow along. Someone comes to our website and they read a blog post on how to sell a Shopify store. It is one of our better blog posts that converts seller submissions for us. After they read that email, they get a trigger. Hey, I saw that you were reading this email. Are you interested in getting a valuation? Are you open to getting a valuation? Are you curious about selling your business? Click here if that's the case, right? We can change up the CTAs to be anything we want. And that, as you see it, kind of mentality, that momentum can be extremely powerful to get people to actually take the next action. Like, hey, I see you were reading about how to help your dog with this certain kind of stomach issue. Did you know we actually sell these tablets that can help calm down your dog's stomach? And that's an email that's sent out 5 minutes after they read the content or some very short duration. Like, they're already in the mindset to want to do this. All you're doing is creating a logical bridge for them to walk down across that they have already started walking down across themselves. So this is a super, super powerful way. And this is something we are exploring even more because it has been so successful, to be honest. All right, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope your email is going to be up to the next level. And I'll talk to you soon. If you did like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.